Motivation is not always something we associate with ADHD. ADHD is associated with energy, busyness, frenetic energy. So, why is motivation a problem with ADHD? Well, motivation is basically dopamine. It's dope. Now, dopamine is that neurotransmitter in our brains that gets us going, gets us motivated to do things. Motivation is do something now where the payoff is only later. So you've got to put energy in so that the payoff is delayed. You've got to delay gratification. And let's face it, all of us lack motivation at some point. Who wants to do things from a list, things that are boring and that are routine, you know, that all of us have to do? But we suck it up and we do it. Now, with ADHD, that's a problem. It's a problem because it's intermittent. People with ADHD and kids with ADHD, they can do things that are exciting, that are interesting. Get up and going. We're going to Ushaka. We're going to the Spur. We're going to go and watch a movie. We're doing something exciting. We're playing sports. We're doing games. So then why do they have difficulty doing things that are more sort of routine? Because the motivation hormone dopamine is something that is under our self-regulation. We've got to control. We've got to not only do things when there's excitement and high risk and excitement and lively activities. So schoolwork, teachers in the classroom see this. When they're watching movies or they got it as something exciting, where there's interaction, they have children with ADHD that can do those things that are short, easy to do, that have intense interest, facts. Kids like history, interesting facts. But when they've got to write things down and take all that information from their brain and write them down, that's a problem. So, motivation is something that we've got to think about. How can you overcome that? How do you make dopamine in a natural way? First of all, you've got to sleep right. If you get up tired and you've gone to bed late, you're not going to have that energy to overcome those boring things. And exercise invigorates, eating healthy, making sure that other problems like stress and anxiety that also go together with ADHD are also dealt with. Because if those are there in the background, they're going to just drag you down. A child that doesn't have their lives holistically managed is going to really have difficulty with motivation. And of course, during adolescence, the brain goes through some changes. So you might think, well, a 10-year-old sometimes is more in control than an adolescent with motivation. It's a matter of degree. And then you could think about, well, there are a lot of adolescents that are more motivated than adults. So it just depends on what else is there in the background and what else a child has to do. So what are the little sort of brain hacks that we can use to overcome this? And what I've found in my practice very useful is for parents not to overload their child, break things down into little steps, making sure that you start off with a little win. When you've got a big task to do, if you start off and you complete something, it's a little bit of a sort of a boost. You've got something done. You've got to just nibble away at it, piecemeal. Don't look at the big picture. Don't look at it all together. Just unveil it in small little chunks. That makes a big difference. Once you've done something that is a little win, it's much easier to get onto the second kind of run of the task. And, stop using the words like, I should do this, I should do that. What you want to do is you want to break things down and do things that you're going to do now. One of the things to overcome a lot of the problems is if you've got something to do it right now. Don't wait. I should do this. The longer you think about it, you become overwhelmed. It looks like too big a problem. So focus on the small things. And then also if you have a child that has difficulty with homework, for example, a typical example, you know, get them started with the first kind of sum, the first bit of maths, or the first couple of lines. Have a break. Let them play a bit of music to begin with. A little bit of a reward, a little bit of a drink in between. Uh, Set a goal. That might really help to sort of motivate. There might be a reward, a payoff. There always has to be something, when you do this, then you can do that. There has to be a little bit of a payoff. And give yourself, an opportunity to gamify things. Motivation, you've got to get yourself in the zone. And for kids with ADHD, is the most important thing is you've got to be able to, as a parent, regulate yourself. Make sure that you're not kind of completely overwhelmed, moaning, groaning. Children need those little wins. Remember, ADHD is a neurochemical problem. It's not just a lazy child. And of course, medication, I've got to tell you, is a game changer. Together with what I've been talking about and medication, if motivation and your child has problem at school with work, poor grades, underachieving, these are things that we specialize and do. And these are things that we can really help you with.